There's room for a few more Pixel videos, right? I put out a video on a flip phone yesterday because this bad boy's shipping got delayed. It's the rough spot of talking about the most leaked phone of 2019. Day zero reviews are gonna get the bulk of the traffic, and most tech enthusiasts have probably already made up their mind on this gadget. But here's the deal. I don't like doing embargo week reviews. I like longer term looks at consumer electronics, and the Pixel 4 is kind of an odd duck in the balance between specs, software, and price. So instead of belching another unboxing video at you, don't get me wrong, the box was super cute, I'm just not the biggest fan of unboxing videos. Or another first impressions. Now that the phone is in my hand, here are some predictions for the Pixel 4, my hopes, my fears, and how I'll be judging the phone through the camera, audio, and long-term performance reviews. Without further ado, here are my 4 hopes and 4 concerns for my upcoming Pixel 4 review based on roughly 16 hours of using the phone, so that's 4 times 4 hours. Are you getting the theme? It's kind of a shtick, but I digress. Hope number 1. Upper mid-pack performance in the land of Snapdragon 855s. Google's take on a mainstream premium phone is not the same kind of hot rod claim like a OnePlus or a gaming phone, but this chipset with a bump in RAM over the Pixel 3, my guess is a video rendering benchmark above a phone like the Xperia 1, in the same ballpark as an LG G8, but falling just behind phones like the V50 or the OnePlus 7 Pro. We're talking about premium phones, so I'm not gonna bother with this low-end, I opened a couple social media apps and it's so smooth kind of examination. There's already a Pixel for that. The Pixel 3a crushes in that mid-pack pricing. Premium phones should start disrupting laptop use. And at this video rendering quality, we're talking about hardware that significantly outpaces nice consumer laptops. We just want to see where it ranks. Hope number 2. Decently smooth gaming performance. Following that last point, this hardware with a 90 Hz display should look really smooth on most titles, especially some of the more demanding console ports. Expecting performance to fall just behind phones that use more aggressive cooling hardware like vapor chambers for sustained gameplay. Hope number 3. Excellent auto mode camera performance. This one's a no-brainer. We're going to see some of the best computational HDR auto shooters available. It's an effortless, we can make everything bright and vibrant and colorful in nearly any lighting condition kind of camera. Google set the standard for this type of photography software approach. Expectations here are very high. That said, there will be a camera concern on the back end of this video. Hope number 4. A premium, hands-free experience. We keep dancing around alternative interactions on a phone, but it's hard for a different Android manufacturer to implement something on their own phone that Google does not build directly into Android. More advanced assistant interactions, motion gestures, and better audio controls could be just the trick to help consumers blur the line between phone and smart speaker. I want my services to feel like they live beyond just one piece of hardware. And we've been on this track for a while, but it's not easy. Progress is slow. And even Apple couldn't figure out 3D touch and just gave up on it. There's never a guarantee in tech that a new feature will succeed, but we've been trying to do things like air gestures since the Note 3. If anyone can set the groundwork for other manufacturers to build off of, the company behind Android is probably the best bet. So there's 4 general hopes. And now for some concerns. Concern number 1. I'm worried this won't be the phone to sell me on Face Unlock. I still think it's a mistake offering Face Unlock as the sole biometric security solution. I think it was a mistake on the iPhone. I'm worried it is here too. Fingerprint sensors, especially the dedicated sensors, not the lame in-display options, are mature, well understood, and practical. Before the phone is up to your face, just as it leaves your pocket, the phone is unlocked and ready to go. You have a tactile landmark your finger can easily find, and you don't need to pay any more attention to the process beyond the most basic grip of how you're already likely to hold the phone. In my early experiences with the Pixel 4, Face Unlock is faster than the LG G8's secure Face Unlock, and thankfully, unlike an iPhone, I can bypass the lock screen without a horrifically stupid additional home swipe. But I'm definitely concerned this interaction will still require more visual and tactile attention than a dedicated fingerprint sensor. So if it comes with even a slightly higher failure rate than my favorite fingerprint sensors, I'll probably get cranky again. Concern number 2. I'm worried this won't sell me on gestures for navigating Android. I was cranky about gestures on the iPhone. They worked okay for me on the smaller Pixel 3a, but replacing a button tap with a more choreographed action doesn't feel like progress to me. The feel of this phone's hardware is nicely improved over previous Pixels I've handled. Haptics, a fluid display, but I feel Android needs re-engineering to properly incorporate gestures. Trying to make this a one-to-one swap, button for swipe, is a more complicated interaction to arrive at the same result, and is more likely to be interrupted or misinterpreted when we rely on similar gestures in other areas of the UI or in apps that do things like laterally scroll. Concern number 3. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit anxious about the audio. The recording app transcription works like magic, but microphones on video recording haven't always been great on past Pixels. Okay, they've been somewhat poor. Like Apple and Samsung and OnePlus, super lame, not including a dongle in the box. More than just making it more painful to use my nice cabled headphones, also making it more difficult to use audio accessories. I know Google isn't trying to make some pro content creation argument, but really good speakers won't completely balance out my anxiousness over the rest of the audio situation. Rounding third and going home, concern number 4, you knew I was gonna touch on video. I shoot a lot of video from my phones, and I genuinely enjoy high-quality 60 frame per second 4K content. We know Google is focused on the idea of an average user point-and-shoot experience. A lot of Google's and Samsung's recent moves feel cribbed from Cupertino's playbook, but while an iPhone won't give you real pro controls, you at least get 4K 60 frame per second video. Beyond that, to get what Apple showed off in their keynote, you need another app. You need Filmic to really deliver the goods on an iPhone 11. And I think the Pixel should get the same consideration. Unfortunately, we're still fresh in that pre-release phase. Both Filmic and Open Camera are crashing. We'll have to see how well we can fill in the gaps on the stock Pixel camera app with additional software. But folks are cool with long-term, real-world product reviews that actually test capability, right? Like, we're open-minded enough to reserve judgment on a device that's just barely now shipping out to consumers with a day 0 update patch that reviewers didn't have in the pre-release, right? Yeah? Because I don't think this phone is too difficult to figure out. No notch, a flat front face with decently grippy sides. I guarantee folks will complain when all premium phones have curved or wraparound screens. But right now, we're in the Pixel isn't worth it enough and everything should cost half the price phase of talking trash about a phone. Pricing and storage options that slot in between the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro. Day 1 OS upgrades for every supported phone. There's some novel hardware that has some potential. And hopefully enough software to help fill in a few of those hardware gaps. Google's pitch here makes perfect sense to me. We don't really need an explained video, do we? We're all rational enough to look at pros and cons and to compare retail pricing to retail pricing against sale price and sale price and understand that different folks might have different needs and wants, right? Am I asking for too much on YouTube? So now we just need to see how it actually survives some real world use, how my hopes and fears pan out in the real world, and from there we'll be able to see how broadly this phone should be recommended. It should be a fun test. If you're watching a video like this, I doubt you'll need it, but I'll of course leave some links down below this video where you can find more information on the Pixel 4, maybe shop one of them online. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, subscribing to this channel. More than just nerding out on the most SEO popular gadgets and acting like there can be winners and losers in consumer electronics, we want to make sure that we're looking at all options, digging deep with some decent real-world analysis, and making sure that we're giving it a good try to fit the exact right gadget to the correct consumer. And if you would like to help support the production of those conversations, there are links below, or you could consider joining the list of names currently scrolling by on your screen. It's a growing community of fun, like-minded tech pals, a huge resource for me as I'm planning future videos, reviews, editorials. They're good people. I hope you'll check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch, and the Facebooks and the Instagrams. and I will catch you all on the next video.